Right, it's been 3 years. It is time to grade the 2019 Vikings draft class. All right, welcome back to the One Bar and Lupagus show. I'm One Bar with Lupagus. Lupagus, 3 years. That's usually the ground rule.
That's the benchmark. That's when it's fair game to grade the draft class. We talked about doing one based on the 2021 class, but it's too early. You got to hop in. You got to give it 3 years. 3 years to really go back and look. Give these guys some time, because sometimes some guys are late bloomers, kind of like you were in high school.
Yes. Just a wee young lad on my older grades in high school, and I sprouted. But yes, let's do this. 5,000. Let's get the 5,000 subs. Hashtag skull in your hole in the comments for a chance to win jersey, hoodie, hat. So make sure you're subscribed. Also, when we did the live show, we did a giveaway. Hashtag swag, and we got a winner.
We do. I think he put in about 75,000 entries. It's our boy Mattison. He finally did it.
Mattison, well done. I mean, he did put the effort in. I think 90% of the hashtag swags were him. So I'll be hitting him up. He gets some swag, whatever he wants. But let's do this. Let's look at this 2019 NFL draft. The main thing is we want to hear your comments in the comments. What you grade this hog?
Yeah, we're not gonna go pick by pick. We're gonna go through all the picks. We're gonna give one final grade at the end of this thing. We're not gonna grade every pick. But let's get this thing started. Let's start with our first round pick 18 overall, center Garrett Bradbury from North Carolina State.
Garrett Bradbury. He gave us 45 starts. 45 starts. I'm not saying they were great starts, but we got 45 starts out of him. And unfortunately for me, the highlight of his career is his 21-yard reception that happened like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it really was. He's what I call a functional bust, where you're actually getting play out of this guy. Like you said, he started 45 games. So you have busts who don't really ever play for your team. He was a bust who played, but now we can safely go back and call him a bust. He just has not done well. He can't anchor, and then it's too much pressure comes up the middle. It's all his fault, because he's just not strong enough to fend off these big, meaty defensive tackles, nose tackles that come plowing at him every single day. So I don't see the Vikings, whoever is a GM, picking up the fifth-year option on this guy. Maybe he sticks around and fights for a roster spot. Maybe he's a backup this year, but I can't see this guy ever starting another game for the Purple, especially with Rick Spielman out.
Yeah, the tough part is when we took him, Bradbury, he was definitely worth the 18th overall pick. He had the buzz. He was the real deal. It was kind of one of those can't-miss guys. When you take a center in round one, it's usually a can't-miss guy, and he was a big old miss. And the worst part is Jenkins went to Green Bay in round 2. Eric McCoy for the Saints went in round 2 as well. So there were much better options, but we just went with Bradbury. It didn't work out. Moving on.
Yeah, we weren't mad when the pick was made. We were excited.
Hell yeah, we got a center. We got a center in round 1. We don't even care. We're so damn excited.
Yeah, well, we shouldn't have been excited at all. We were excited about this next pick as well. Second round pick 50 overall, Irv Smith Jr, tight end out of Alabama. His story has been one of injuries. He just can't stay on the field. He's had partial seasons. He's had moments where he's looked pretty damn good. Super excited about what he could have brought to the team in 2021. Last preseason game, gets hurt, misses the season.
Oh, painful. I mean, we got a grade on what he's done so far, not what he could have done or what he might do. It's what he's done. And really, 14 games started. Like you said, when he's been out there, he's performed. A lot of hype going into the season, best shape of his career, blah, blah, blah. Didn't happen. Tyler Conklin comes in, has a better season than Irv Smith ever had, and that hurts.
Well, it hurts, but I mean, Smith was always playing with Kyle Rudolph, so there's always that. He was always number 2. He was never really the guy.
Exactly.
But
should have been.
I liked what I saw late in the season from him. He was even becoming a red zone threat. He's kind of a skinnier type of tight end who can get down the field, and especially his yak is kind of the strength of his game. But he was becoming that red zone threat as well. It's just a damn shame this guy has not been able to stay healthy. Hopefully he can this year, because I think this is a piece, no matter who is running the team next year, is going to want to have Irv Smith involved in the offense.
Yeah, and when we do a 6-year draft grade, hopefully Irv Smith's grade is A effing plus.
A little Mattison in you right there.
Almost. Let's go to round 3. Alexander Mattison taken 102 overall. When he was taken, I think we're kind of like, what the hell was that? We didn't expect that to happen, but he's proven to be a pretty damn good backup and a very good starter when we needed him in a pinch.
I believe this is when the Vikings kept trading back. They did it like 4 times in a row. Damian Harris was on the board. We wanted him. He ended up going ahead. Then we end up with Alexander Mattison in late round. I think this was the last pick of round 3, that draft. And what he is, he's a backup, and he's a damn good backup. And when he's been called up to to spell Delvin Cook, whether it's for a whole game or a series, he's done well. And he's a hard runner. He can catch the football. I think he could start for a handful of teams in the NFL. Round 3, you land yourself a solid running back 2. I think that's a good pick.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting when he's up, when he's a free agent, if teams actually throw starter money at him, because he could, like you said, be a number one in this league for a handful of teams. And the running backs in this class: Josh Jacobs, David Montgomery, Miles Sanders, Devin Singletary, Damian Harris, Tony Pollard, Darrell Henderson. Quite the thick running back class there.
It's very thick.
And Alexander Mattison is right there with him.
Yeah, he's making that thing a little extra thick. Let's move on to a round 4 pick that makes everybody a little bit sick to their stomachs. Guard Drew Samia. Again, we thought our O-line was going to be just set now. Garrett Bradbury, now Drew Samia.
We thought the dream was going to start becoming reality. Drew Samia, and the worst part is, which I forgot, the Vikings actually traded up. They traded up to get Drew Samia. They gave up assets to go get him. And when he was at Oklahoma, the reason we love this guy, he was like a real mean son of a bitch. He was the angry offensive line, something we wanted on this offensive line. And turns out he's worse than Bradbury.
Well, then this hype came in. I think it was his first mini camp. Everybody talking about how big this guy, how big Drew Samia is. And then when training camp actually started, he was like 3rd on the depth chart. Barely saw a sniff in the preseason, and he just was always behind. Finally, he got to start when Elflein went out. We were all so excited to see what Drew Samia brought to the table. It wasn't much. Drew Samia didn't bring anything. He was horrible.
No, we were clamoring to get Elflein back into the lineup. Elflein went to the Jets. Drew Samia is now a Jet. So Garrett Bradbury will probably most likely be a Jet at some point, along with I was trying to think of somebody good, but I can't.
Probably a guy we're going to be talking about a little bit down the road here.
Yeah, you're right. There you go. Perfect. Good segue.
Yeah, but it's still a little ways up. We got to talk about linebacker Cam Smith, the next pick. USC, I know this one's always going to chap your ass because we traded down. You wanted Blake Cashman more than anything. We missed out on him.
Cash money.
Rick Spielman had to get more picks. And then we got Cam Smith, whose career was cut short by his heart condition. Thank God the guy's okay. And we'll see. Maybe he'll be a coach someday somewhere. Who knows?
He might be. I mean, even before his heart condition, it's not like, I mean, he's already been cut a couple of times, wishing him well, obviously, but looking at it, it did not pan out. I think they only traded back like 3 picks too. I think they're getting a little cocky. I think they wanted cash money, but the Jets sniped us and will forever haunt my dreams.
Yeah, the Jets are going to end up having this entire draft class at some point.
Lucky.
That's what it's looking like. All right, let's go on the next pick. This was a damn good one. Round 6, pick 190, defensive tackle from Arkansas, Armon Watts.
What depth he brings to a defensive line that has been dog shit. I think he definitely deserves to be a number 1 backup in this league at defensive tackle. He's proven that. I don't want him starting by any means. He's starting a pinch, but very, very good depth. He can get after it.
Yeah, I think he's proven this year he's just a backup. I don't think I want this guy starting either. He plays well against the run. He can create some interior pressure as well. So he's a guy you definitely don't feel bad about spelling your starter here or there, or maybe giving him if someone gets hurt, he can come in and play half a game. Great depth piece and a great pick. Great use of a 6th-round pick there. It was great value. Thank you for saying that. Next pick, we had a pick right after that. Vikings had 2 picks in a row. So, you know what? We got to have this Wyoming safety. Andrew Wingard. Nope. Marcus Epps.
Yep. I wanted Wingard so bad. They took the wrong one, but Epps is he wasn't on the Vikings long. I think we ended up cutting him in September, October, pretty quick. And he's been in Philly adding some depth there. The fact that he's a 6th-rounder, late rounder who got cut right away and he's still in the league, it's a decent.
He's hanging around like that dingleberry you just can't find.
You should clean those off better.
Next pick, this was the guy we were alluding to earlier, who's probably going to end up being a Jet. Well, guard, tackle. He could pretty much play wherever the hell you want him to on the O-line. It's Oli Samika Udo.
Pick 193. He's from small school Elon. He was he was a guy that looked like he was a project that the timing matched up well. A couple of years, and all of a sudden they threw him in the starting lineup. Unfortunately, when they threw him in there, didn't work out. It's not worked out.
When it first started, he was playing pretty damn well. And I think that was some of the reason we didn't see Wyatt Davis, because Udo had a great camp. First couple games played well. Everybody was talking about Oli Udo protecting me last night on Twitter. All this kind of stuff was kind of hot there for a while. Then all of a sudden, Oli Udo showed his true colors. And
true colors
I knew that was coming. And he can't block anybody. Yes, he can go out and play left tackle in a pinch. So I do think he'll be he may have a career in the NFL as a backup who can play multiple positions on the O-line. I just don't want his career to continue here in Minnesota.
Yeah, I mean, he's a backup. Maybe he's a backup to the backup. Maybe the fact that he plays guard, plays tackle, gives him some value. But yeah, maybe he needs a fresh start elsewhere.
Yeah, that may just be time. Next guy, cornerback Chris Boyd from Texas. I don't know. He's had his moments. He's had some bad moments.
I mean, he's a 7th round pick. We gotta keep that. This wasn't like a 2nd round pick by any means. He probably deserves to be a 5th, 6th cornerback on a roster. He has his bright spots, and he looks completely horrible. Good special teamer. That's where he should be.
Seems like a lot of fun.
Can't be disappointed by this pick.
No, he's a fun. It seems like he's a fun guy to be around. A lot of energy there, like you said.
Swag.
Though, I mean,
he's got swagger.
He's got swag. He just can't really cover anybody. He's a damn good special teamer. So again, for a 7th round pick, you got a depth chart corner and a special teams guy. So not a bad pick here at all.
Not a bad pick. Remember, we want to see your entire grade down in the comments. And this guy will probably have a lot to do with it. Dylan Mitchell, wide receiver from Oregon, got cut. And we don't need to talk much about him. But I'm going to say this again. The fact that nobody even brought him in, that shows it right there. I mean, he was cut by the Vikings, and that was his career. Done.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what the heck, what this guy did so bad. But to not get another shot. Yeah, what the hey? To not get another shot in our team, this doesn't bode well for Dylan Mitchell's abilities.
All right, last one. Or no, 2 more, sorry. BC Johnson, round 7, pick 247. Fantastic. Unfortunately, he got hurt this year. It looked like he was probably going to be the 3rd, 4th receiver anyways, but when we had to throw him in as a number 2, number 3, the man produced.
He did. I mean, he was earned the trust of Kirk Cousins. He had some pretty damn reliable hands, and he could find his way in the end zone.
Drops, though, too.
He did. Early, he was really, really sticky hands. But again, a guy I still think his career at the Vikings could definitely continue. Maybe as the 5th, 6th receiver if we keep 6. He's definitely a good depth piece to have, and he's kind of like the Alexander Mattison of receivers. When he gets called up, he produces. So I'll see what happens with BC Johnson moving forward.
All right, let's round this thing off with our long snapper, Austin Cutting.
Yeah, the Vikings had a million picks in this draft, and they figured, what the hell, we might as well draft a long snapper here at pick 250, damn near the end of the draft. He beat out, who the hell did he beat out? Our longtime long snapper, McDermott, who was missing a finger, 9 fingers McDermott. He beat him out because he had 10 fingers. That's not really a fair battle, in my opinion. Cutting held the job. Was it for a year and then got cut, or was it half the year? And then he
I think it was over a year, and DePaula came in randomly. I mean, Cutting didn't even seem to really do anything bad. Also, we got a new long snapper. DePaula's been great.
Yeah, it was weird. I think that was when we had those really 3 games in a row, some really bad special teams mishaps. And maybe Cutting was the guy who took the blame for that and was the fall guy. I don't know, but he has not been back in the NFL. Maybe he's continuing his career in the military. I don't know.
All right. Well, that is the whole thing. Let's wrap this thing. Let's put a big stinky bow on it. And I'm going to let you go first. What your official grade is for the 2019 Vikings draft class 3 years later.
Yeah, you got a lot of picks here, and you got a lot of misses and a lot of not real big hits. You got a backup running back, a backup corner, and a backup defensive tackle. Maybe a tight end whose story isn't done yet, but I got to give this a D. There's just too many misses here, especially starting at the top with Garrett Bradbury. All these picks you acquired, and you really only hit on a small percentage of them. So to me, it's a D. I'm giving no, it's a D.
It's a D. All right. I'm actually going to do it. I think 12 picks, and you say we hit on a couple. I don't think we hit on anything. I think Mattison's decent, but looking at the 3 years that they did, not the 3 years they're going to do. So I'm taking Irv out of the equation. I got to give it an F. I think it's horrible. I mean, Garrett Bradbury to swing and miss on a center in round 1. That's a big ballsy move, and I like they did it, but they missed. They missed big time, and really we got a couple of really depth pieces. Armand Watts is the one that gets me most excited, I guess, in Mattison.
Well, I've graded a lot of drafts in my day, and I've seen a lot worse than this one. But
they're probably Fs.
They were Fs.
Well, there you go.
No, they're a lot worse than this one. That's why I gave it a D.
Well, I could be way off. Maybe someone wants to give it a name. Adamidai, what are you thinking? Comments below. What do we got?
All right. Can't wait to see what you guys think of the overall grade of 2019 draft class 3 years later. And while you're coming to your grade conclusion, remember this. Some females can reach orgasm via stimulation of their knees. So can I.